What up, stackers? Bigstack McGee here. How are you doing today? It is Friday, April 2nd, and as good a time as any to do my stack update for the month of March 2020. And what a month it's been in so many different ways. Right now, I'm hunkered down in my son's room while he is upstairs playing Fortnite. It's hard to find private spaces right now in our house. And I'm going to talk a little bit after I go over my pickups for the month, just about how life has been in our immediate family. But for right now, if you hear random shouts, it's because my son is playing Fortnite with his friends, and when he has his headphones and mic unit on, he doesn't know how loud he is. But regardless, let's start with the first thing I picked up this month. All right. Here we have this gorgeous gold $20 double eagle Liberty Head 1904. This is the first Liberty Head gold double eagle that I've picked up. But I love this coin. Love pre-33 gold in general, but this has been on the list for quite some time. You know, I've wanted this for the last, I don't know, I'd say at least 7 years, but haven't been in a position to be able to afford that until recently, so feels pretty good. Then, this brick right here, got my first 100-ounce silver bar, and as I mentioned in my previous video, I was able to pick this up for basically $14.50 per ounce. Actually, that's what it dipped down to, and I got it for 99 cents over that. So $15 silver, which feels pretty darn good. Obviously, right now, silver prices are just in the toilet, and you can't find physical silver without massive markups. In fact, the place where I purchased this just today said that they have more 100-ounce silver bars available, and they are $7 over spot, something like that. Maybe it's $6.50 over spot, but I don't know. Not going to be purchasing silver at that premium. Just can't do it. So for my immediate future, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to continue with my stacking journey. I think I'm going to play it day by day and keep seeing what deals are out there and whatever. But this feels awesome to have. I'm really glad I got this. And this single-handedly, this is what, almost 10% of my silver bar portfolio right here in my hand. Awesome. Definitely would love to get another one at some time, but who knows. So for this month, we have 100 ounces of silver and a little bit less than an ounce of gold. So that's a pretty great month for me. And would not have normally picked up this much silver other than the opportunity came up and jumped on it, and glad I did right before it was not to be had so cheaply anymore. But if you're here just for the stack update, that's it. 100 ounces of silver and a little bit less than an ounce of gold. But just for my own sake, in fact, I think I've mentioned this before, but the reason I love doing these monthly updates is it becomes kind of like a stacking diary for me. I can go to just that playlist on my channel and see over time how my monthly pickups have changed and evolved and whatnot. But it's also a little bit of a diary, you know, for me. So just as kind of a reflection on how things have been. So we've been in this house, I think, almost 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, basically on the whole shelter-in-place order that's been handed down. And so it's my wife and I and our 3 kids. And I do have to report that things have been going really well. The attitudes are generally positive, which is nice. Not a ton of clashing between siblings and things like that, although there is some. They're definitely stir-crazy. Fortunately, the weather's been pretty nice, and they've been able to get outside quite a bit and play with the dogs, play some catch, rollerblade, go for runs, things like that. So that's helpful. I broke out the grill for the first time this year, this past week, and made some grilled chicken and brats, which was fantastic. And looking forward to nicer weather around the corner as well. But boy, oh boy, the daily routine is just really a struggle for me. I find my wife and I have such different schedules. She is absolutely a morning person, and she's been getting up earlier and earlier in the 6 o'clock hour, and I tend to not go to bed until, I don't know, 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, because that's, I don't know, it's just, I'm more of a night owl, and my kids are all everywhere in between. Not having to go to school, they tend to stay up later than normal, and of course the competition that they have is for in the video game time, and we have one video game unit that they all want to use, and so we've had to kind of ration that off. And I don't like having kids on screen time all the time anyway, but it's challenging because they all have their different friend groups that they like to play with online and stuff. So that's been the real challenge, I think, right now, is how to keep things very organic and not have everything just be digital all the time for our family. And we have tablets and cell phones and things like that too. But just to go, okay, we're gonna mandate, and everyone's reading this hour. We're all gonna be within sight of each other, just reading books, because that's just so important, I think, to get off the screens for a little bit. And of course, I suppose you can read books on screens and stuff too. In fact, for me, that's kind of the way that I have to go, because where my eyesight is at, I've got reading glasses, but being able to enlarge print on a screen, I guess, is the best way for me to go to read. But so, regardless, just talking about mindless stuff, and our family has not been much for like TV binging or things like that. My wife started rewatching The Office, and that's fun for her. I don't know. I haven't really gotten into anything right now. I've just been, I don't know. Maybe I need to get my head out of searching for news and things like that of what's going on around us. But it's hard for me not to be looking at the markets and watching. I don't know. I probably been spending too much time. Again, not trying to time the markets, but to go, when do I want to put some money back in? And it's hard to see what exactly to do when the markets are so topsy-turvy. I don't know. What are you guys doing out there for passing the time and for handling all your family being under the same roof for days upon end? It's a challenge. It really is. What else? We've been doing a lot of cooking at home. I'm generally the chef around our house, but we've been making all our meals, and good stuff too. I had bought a Dutch oven recently, one of those porcelain enameled ones, the nice kind, Le Creuset, and making pot roast and all kinds of chili and all that kind of stuff has been great. We have 2 freezers at our house, so we got plenty of frozen meats and things like that to pull out and use, which is nice. Doing a little bit of a kind of a grocery and food inventory to see if we're going to have to travel out, what we got to get. We're running kind of low on all of the fresh fruits and veggies and milk and those kind of items, and so maybe we'll try to do one of those grocery delivery, or where they bring it out to your car or whatever. But we're trying to take things pretty seriously and make sure that we're decontaminating stuff that comes in packages and whatever, to be wiped down with alcohol, and just to kind of reduce the chance of spread. So it's been a different last couple of weeks. It feels like it's been about 2 months under this shelter in place. It hasn't been, but it sure feels that way. And to know that it's going to have to be a few weeks more at least, that's really, really challenging to get through. But I don't know. I've been watching a lot of great YouTube channels out there, and I appreciate the content that you guys provide. Yeah, I guess if there's anything else that I guess I want to mention about this time, so if I'm looking back or my kids are looking back on this stuff, it's just that it's always nice to see kind of the character of people when they're all put in the same place at the same time. And I'm pretty darn proud of my family, and it's been a blast, playing games and just doing the connecting in the way that we have been. I do have to say that our family's favorite show, I guess, recently has been this Lego Masters, where these teams have to get together and build different creations, and it's kind of, it's a reality show, so a team is voted off each week. But we were settled in on Wednesday the 1st to watch it, and instead it was a 2-hour presentation of The Masked Singer, and it was so deflating to my kids. They're just like, no. I'm like, well, it'll be on next week, but they were just so looking forward to it, and just that almost depressive kind of like, it was actually pretty funny. But there are just a few anecdotes from the Bigstack household. Hope everyone out there is doing great. No idea what the stack is going to look like for next month, although I will say I do have 2 packages coming, so there is some gold and there is some silver that will be here during the month of April. But beyond that, not quite sure. All right, if you hung in this far, I appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe. We'll see you soon. Take care.